period.
Arnprior heads on down to Gananoque to face off against the Islanders for the final game of their season series. Deserano hosted the Frontenac Phantoms in a game which was full of highlights and kept the crowd excited. Tweed and South Stormont took it right down to the wire in this exciting game in Long Sault. Mitts were dropped this week. Check out Week 13's Between Two Posts podcast now. Hey fans, Joshua here. I'm alone today on this episode of Between Two Posts podcast. We have a great show. Gananoque, Arnprior, Deserano, Frontenac, Tweed, and South Stormont, and a recap of the South Grenville North Dundas Home and Home series. So we're going to jump right into the first highlight pack, which is going to be the Gananoque and Arnprior game. This was the game 4 of the season series. Gananoque led 2-1, and obviously Arnprior and Gananoque do have a bit of a history from the Western Conference final last season. So we're going to jump into the highlight pack, but before we do that, there were a couple fans with some signs in the stands, and we got some pictures of them here, so we hope they had a great time at the game. But we're going to jump into the highlight pack. Check it out. The first period was slow to start as the referees had to squeegee off some excess water from the ice surface before the game could really get into the action, but it didn't take long before they were back at it. Alex Halford comes in. Far side, he waits for his partner in crime, fires it across the number 17, Adrian Moyes, who puts it through Nevers to make it 1-0 for the Arnprior Rivermen over Gananoque. Ryan Verbeek brings in the puck, centers over to Ryan Palakowski, who shoots and scores. He snipes that one over the glove hand of McDonald to make it 1-1 here in the first period. Eric Selleck sends a pass out from his own zone to Ryan Verbeek, who cuts over center, in through the blue line, cuts the D, shoots, and drives it in on the glove side of McDonald. He left the defender standing still as he makes it 2-1 Gananoque. Verbeek's alone in front of the net as he shoots and is robbed by McDonald with the glove. Dixon comes in, but Halford pulls the puck off him. He goes to skate away. He spins back, and he's nailed with a double cross check. You can see that Coda comes in with a high cross check on Halford and puts him down. Dixon grabs a hold of Halford and gives a yank on his face mask, setting off everybody to get into a scrum. But that's as far as it'll go. Dixon's the only one who receives a penalty, 2 minutes for cross-checking, and on that penalty, in comes Peck, who sends it across to Sutton-Allard, who shoots and scores to make it 3-2. He fired that one on the move, and it was a beautiful goal. A minute 10 later, face-off won by Ryan Verbeek back to Chad Duchesne, who shoots, and it looks like it's tipped off, and a rebound by Ryan Verbeek, who sends it to Ryan Palowski, who spins and flicks the backhand by McDonald. Look at this spin move and flick to give the lead back to the Islanders. A minute 35 later in the period, Alex Halford wins the puck back to Matt Denis, who shoots and beats a screened Nevers. The puck misses a lot of legs and it makes it by to make the game tied at 3. Shortly after, Matt Denis is going to get called 2 minutes for holding and put the Rivermen down after he scores the goal. Verbeek wins the face-off. Selleck fires it back to Duchesne. Duchesne skates it back and fires it to Verbeek, back to Duchesne, over to Palakowski, back to Duchesne, who rips it by McDonald, beating him on his blocker side high, and that restores Gananoque's lead to 1. Devin King cuts in over the blue line, centers it to Eric Selleck, who fires a top cheese over the blocker, and now it's 5-3 Gananoque. Seconds later, Selleck shoots and nails McDonald high in the mask, popping it off, and he's shaken for a moment, but will stay in the game. Ross Campbell drives his own shoot. The rebound's grabbed by Matt Denis back to the point, and it is shot one time by Eric Brazil. It's in the net, and it's a goal. That one was tipped by Ryan Verbeek to give the Islanders the 6-3 lead. Ryan Duhaime gives chase, gets the puck, centers it to Ryan Peck, who's unable to get a shot from the slot. He curls, passes the puck out. Luke Peck one-times it by Nabers, and they cut into the lead from the Islanders, making it 6-4 in the dying seconds of the second. Alford goes to leave the zone. The puck goes off of Palakowski right to Ryan Verbeek, who scores his hat-trick goal. We didn't get the camera over in time, but it's 7-4 Islanders. Setting up for the draw, Coda gives a yank on Ryan Peck's face mask, which sets him off. The referee is going to give both of these two 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for inciting opponent, and they're gone from the game. Tempers finally reach a boiling point in this game as Tom Dixon faces off against Joshua Snyder. They go at it, and they start swinging, and it looks even so far, but Dixon's throwing in some arms there, and he gets the jersey pulled over the face, and now Schneider looks like he's just getting into a defensive position, and Dixon's gonna take this tilt, and with 6:19 left to go in the third, Ross Campbell takes a cross-checking penalty. And on the ensuing power play, it's gonna be buried into the net by Jared Campanelli to make it 7-5. With 4:33 remaining in the third period, Carter Peck's gonna take down the Gananoque player. He's not happy. He's saying he died, but he's going to the box. Duchesne's gonna pass the puck to Palakowski. Back to Duchesne, who fires it from the point to beat McDonald off the post to give the Islanders the 8-5 lead. And that's all Gananoque needed to take the W. What a great game between those two teams. We hope they meet up in the playoffs because they always have a great series. Now, a couple notables. I said in the game, I didn't think Tom Dixon was going to drop the mitts. I was wrong. He did, so he proved me wrong, and it was a great game to watch. The third star of that game was Chad Duchesne. He had, let me see here, 2 goals, 2 assists for, 2 goals and 3 assists for 5 points. We had Ryan Pawlowski, who had 2 goals and 4 assists for 6 points. And we had Ryan Verbeek, who had the hat trick and 3 assists for 6 points in total. So that was a great game. We hope you enjoyed it. And we are going to jump on to the next game, which was the Deserano and Frontenac game. Now, Deserano always does a great hosting. Justin was able to get down there and record the game. Wasn't maybe the outcome he was looking for, but you're going to check the highlight pack and see what happened for yourself. Justin Allery is in Deserano to bring you the Phantoms and Bulldogs. The game gets off in the first period early. Aaron Nathan collides with Graham Grimmel. Grimmel doesn't look happy about it, but the referee makes no call. Play on. On the breakout, James Nolan passes it to Mitch Gustafson. Back James Nolan. Gustafson shoots and scores through Komet's 5-hole. That was on a rusty Komet who has just come back, and I believe he was screened on it as well. Johnny Hill is being harassed behind the net by Phantoms. Nicholas Corona, he blind passes it out to the point. Intercepted by Jordan Bray, who shoots and scores. That puck beat Grimmel over his glove hand high, and it ties the game up at 1. Austin LaBelle skates in, puts it back to Brody Butt back to Austin LaBelle. Comes across, big save by Komet, but Austin LaBelle picks up his rebound out to Noah Brand, who shoots and scores. He took that one off of his foot and blasted it, which just trickles through Komet to make it 2-1. Mad scramble in front of the net. Dawson Chard fires it back to Jordan Bray, who fires it in on that off of the post, picked up by Philip Courtier, who scores to make it 2-2. That puck went right off the post, and Courtier had a wide open net to score, beating Grimmel as he dived across. Luigi Martone scoops up the puck off to Carter Thornton, who's on a breakaway against Komet, and he beats him to score. Look at this move. He just sneaked it by Komet, and the game is now 3-2 with just a minute remaining in the second. at 12:11 in the second period. Brody Butt takes a 2-minute interference call. Aaron Nathan passes the puck back to Martin Rioux, who loads up and blasts a shot through Graham Grimmel to tie the game at 3-3. That shot was blasted. Johnny Hill fires a pass off the boards up to Mitch Gustafson, who comes in along the board, shoots and beats Jake Komet on the blocker side. He now makes the game 4-3 for the Bulldogs in the second. Liam Soderke cuts over the blue line, cuts through the defense. He goes to shoot, but gets tipped and he goes down, but the puck gets mishandled by Graham Grimmel and goes into his net, making the game tied up at 4. Noah Brandt drops a pass back to James Dolan, who puts it over to Gary Smith, who throws it on the net, and it's tipped by Brett Miracle. That will put the Bulldogs up to 5-4 here with 5:55 remaining in the second period. Scary moment for the Phantoms as Deserano's Brett Miracle lands on top of Jake Komet. Jake Komet was down for a significant amount of time. He was able to get back up and stay in the game. And a trip that goes unmissed sets off Colton DeStefano, who gets in there and starts shoving them around. Everyone's coming in. It looks like Colton DeStefano will be the only one with a 2-minute call. And it takes Johnny Hill 14 seconds to end the power play and drop in the assurance marker for the Bulldogs, 6-4. A minute into the third period, and Brett Miracle lays a big hip check on the Phantoms player, which earns him a 5-minute major and an exit from the game. As the penalty expires, Nathan Dolman feeds a pass to Nicholas Grona, who blasts the one-time by Graham Grimmel, making it 6-5. Noah Brandt feeds the puck back to Johnny Hill, puts it on net. It gets tipped behind the net, and it's jumped on by Austin LaBelle, and he makes it 7-5. Bulldogs. As Adam Smith for the Phantoms sits for 2 minutes for cross-checking, the Bulldogs use the final minutes of the period to attack the Phantoms, and a goal by Greg Arnberg puts the Bulldogs up 8-5 in the final moments of the third. And as the buzzer hits 0, the Bulldogs take this one 8-5 in the West rivalry. What a great game that was between Deserano and Frontenac, a rivalry in the West, just down the 401. Amazing game, and Deserano always hosts an awesome environment. We're going to jump into the 3 stars here. We had Austin LaBelle, who got the 3rd star for Deserano, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. 2nd star was Philip Courtier with 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points for the Frontenac Phantoms. And the 1st star for the Deserano Bulldogs, 1 goal, 2 assists with 3 points, Johnny Hill. Now, we're going to be jumping into the first commercial break, and then we're going to be coming back to you with the Tweed and South Stormont game and a recap of the South Grenville North Dundas series, home and home series that happened this weekend. So we'll be right back after this commercial break. The Tweed Oil Kings head on down the 401 to Long Sault, where they faced off against the South Stormont Mustangs. David Prance from the Tweed Oil Kings was able to stream the game for everybody, and we were able to create a highlight clip from it. So let's check that out, and then we'll be back to recap the 3 stars. It's a Saturday night matchup for Tweed and South. 11:06 into the first period, and Chris Newhook drives in and shoots and beats Webster on the far side to make it 1-0 Mustangs. Derek Ryan with the shot. The rebound comes off, and Chris Rutley puts it in to make it 2-0 Mustangs. Friend of the show, good job, buddy. Thomas Vezina drives in and sends a pass over to Chris Newhook, who finish it off to make it 3-0 Mustangs in the first. Chris Newhook shovels a pass out to Braden Jacome, who fires it over to Thomas Vezina, who drops to a knee with a spinning shot for a goal to make it 4-0. 3 minutes and 22 seconds later, Brandon Kudo feeds Sheldon Thompson, who beats a sprawling Frederick Waugh with a beautiful goal to make it 4-1. At 6:07, Brody Morris is going to clear the puck out of play for a 2-minute delay of game penalty. And with all but 5 seconds remaining on the power play, Patrick Rock feeds Isaac Barr, who snipes it by Webster to get the power play goal and make it 5-1. 1:55 remaining in the second period, and Zach Elson feeds Brandon Kudo. Frederick Waugh had no chance on this one as he dives in desperation, and it's 5-2 here in the second. Brandon Kudo drives in, pulls back, stops up, fires a pass out to Zach Elson, who drives one by Frederick Waugh. They make it 5-3 and cut the Mustangs' lead down to 2. Jordan Nesbitt drives the puck in behind the net, centers it out to Chris Atanas, and he gets it over to Zach Elson, who rips it by Waugh to put the Oil Kings only down by 1 now in the third. The puck goes in front of the net. It scrambles in front of Waugh. Everyone's walking away at it, and Adrian Wilson puts it in to tie the game. The ref was right there and saw the puck was loose. In overtime, Isaac Barr fires a pass up to Brendan Jacome, who comes in, dekes around the defender, shoots and scores. The Mustangs win the game in overtime, 6-5, and the crowd goes nuts. That was some awesome footage from David Prance. Thank you for getting that out to everybody on the stream, and we love creating the highlight pack. Now we're going to jump into the 3 stars here. The third star for the Tweed Oil Kings, Sheldon Thompson, 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points. The second star for the South Stormont Mustangs, that was Chris Newhook, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points. And the first star for the South Stormont Mustangs, 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points, Brendan Jacome. So that was a great game. And like we said, overtimes are always exciting, and we love it when it's finished off with a W. So Tweed, I'm sure they were a little disappointed they didn't get a W, but they did jump up in the standings from that game into second in the West. So I'm pretty sure that was a great thing for them as well. Hopefully they keep on their winning streak, and they'll be able to give Gan Aquay and Arn Pryor a run for their money. We're going to jump in now to the first game for the the South Granville Rangers and the North Dundas Rockets. That game took place on Saturday and was hosted by North Dundas. We're going to jump in to the scoring summary here. We can see that North Dundas Rockets started off the game with a goal by Bradley Stitt at the 13:23 mark of the first period to make it 1-0. South Grenville responded with Zachary Laferbe scored at the 12:41 mark to tie the game 1-1. North Dundas then came out, and Ryan Lau scored to make it 2-1 at 2:50. And at the 44-second mark of the first period, Alex Gabranson scored to make it 3-1 on the power play. In the second, at the 18:49 mark, the Rockets scored, Fabian Walsh making it 4-1. And then at the 16:39 mark, Todd Marcellus scored to make it 5-1. The South Granville Rockets responded at the 16:18 mark to make it 5-2. But then the North Dundas Rockets came right back at the 14:49 mark of the second with a goal from Jarrett Williams, 6-2 Rockets. At the 56-second mark of the second period, Brett Gustafsson scored to make it 7-2 for the Rockets. Coming out in the third, at the 14:49 mark, Ryan Lau scored again for the Rockets, making it 8-2. South Granville responded at 3:49 with an even strength marker from Adam Watson, 8-3 Rockets. And then in the final 2:22, a power play goal by Ryan Lau. That is the hat trick goal to make it 9-3 Rockets. Notables on the penalties. We had Jody Sullivan had 2 minutes for slashing in the first at 1:23. That was the first power play goal. And the second power play goal in the third at 2:37, Devin Burns from South Granville got a tripping minor. So those were the two notables. For the three stars of the game, we have third star from the North Dundas Rockets, Brett Gustafsson, 1 goal with 3 assists for 4 points. Second star, Todd Marcellus, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points for the Rockets as well. And the number 1 star for the Rockets, Ryan Lau, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. He got that beautiful hat trick in this game. The shots were 62 for the Rockets, 50 for the Rangers. The game was lopsided in the goals, but in the shots, it looks like South Granville did put in quite a game. Game 2 between these two teams took place in South Granville, and it was a little bit different game. So jumping on into the scoring summary here, the first goal was scored by Adam Watson from the South Granville Rangers at the 9:37 mark of the first period to give the Rangers a 1-0 lead. But with 11 seconds left in the first period, the Rockets' Dean Bivolds, he responded to make it 1-1. Then into the second period, the Rockets got a goal at the 14:46 mark from Eric Boudreau to make it 2-1 Rockets on the road. But then in the second, on a power play, Mike Bird scored for the Rangers to tie the game at 2. With 2 minutes and 41 seconds left on the power play, the Rockets now, Eric Boudreau scores to make it 3-2, and that would then be followed into the third period. At 11:35, short-handed Brett Gustafsson scores to make it 4-2 for the Rockets. At 1:25 remaining in the third period, Ryan Lau scores to make it 5-2 for the Rockets. But then at 1:17, Zachary Lefebvre responds with a goal for the Rangers to make it 5-3. But with 13 seconds left on the power play, Zach Pilon finishes off the game 6-3 for the Rockets. Notables in the penalties, Bradley Stitt got a penalty for high sticking. It looks like a double minor. That was the goal scored for the power play for the Rangers. Then Devin Burns for the Rangers for holding 2 minutes at 3:04 in the second. That was the second goal or power play that led to a goal. That was the one for the Rockets. And then at the end of the game with 48 seconds left, Jody Sullivan, 2 minutes for slashing to the Rangers. And that was the final goal that came from a power play. So this game, a couple special teams came into to factor in this one. But all in all, another victory for the Rockets. If we look at the summary here, the shots in this game were 50-48 for the Rangers, which again, the score didn't quite show that 6-3 with the difference in the scoring, so they were in that game the whole time, but couldn't pull out the victory. Third star, South Granville Rangers, Mike Bird got that star with 1 goal for 1 point. The second star went to the Rockets, Alex Goodbranson, 2 assists for 2 points. And the first star, Derek Boudreau, 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points. We're going to take a quick look now at the standings for the EOSHL. All right, now after 70 games of play this season, taking a look at the standings Starting in the East, sitting in first is the North Dundas Rockets, undefeated with 26 points here this season so far. Sitting in second in the East is the South Stormont Mustangs with 20 points. The Bytown Royals are sitting in third with 13. The Cornwall Prowlers are in fourth with 9 points. The Glengarry Pipers are in fifth with 7 points. And the South Grenville Rangers, still without a win, sitting in last place with 2 points. Moving to the West, the first position is held by the Gananoque Islanders, who have 16 points. Jumping up into second position this week, the Tweed Oil Kings with 13 points. Arnprior Rivermen sit in third with 13 points. The Deseronto Bulldogs have fourth position with 12 points. In fifth is the Smith Falls Ritos with 12 points as well. And sitting in last place in the West with 4 points is the Frontenac Phantoms.
My name's Brady Leavold, and I've been to hell and back. This is the road to recovery.
I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome. Hockey to hell and back.
That I survived. It was like something like crazy happened.
But the coach thought I had such a good camp. The AHL coach thought I had such a good camp as a 19-year-old or 18 turning 19-year-old at that camp. He's like, I want to bring Chris in at the end of this season.
And then that could have been the worst thing for me because now I'm back at home, right?
As proud of you as your dad, as everybody else. How we got there, it's how we get out.
Yeah, it's been a while, takes way more shit to surprise me now. When it was going down, couldn't stand your voice without blacking out. And that's what we do. Every day, same badge, we're trying to prove you'd feel.
Well, week 13 was just punch full of goals, hits, saves. The highlights were crazy. Check out the full pack here. This week's Battle of the Highlights is going to be between the Tweed Oil Kings, Andrew Reinold, and the Smith Falls Ritos, Brett Costello. Let's take a look at Week 12's Battle of the Highlights. So we're going to take a look here at the Battle of the Highlights bracket. And when we jump in, we're going to see that the first side is now completed with Alex Halford's win this last week. So what we're going to do is we're going to start pinning these teams or these highlight clips up against each other to fill out the first round bracket as we build up the second side here on this this bracket till we get the top 6. So we pretty much moving forward, you're going to be getting the week's highlights that you're going to be battling on, and also you're going to be starting to vote on the brackets as they come in. So keep an eye out for multiple Battle of the Highlights votes and videos each week moving forward. So for our upcoming games in week 14 this week, we're going to be heading out to Smith Falls for 7:30 p.m. on Friday to see the Arnprior Rivermen face off against the Ritos. Now, we've never been there before, so we're not sure what we're going to have available for live streaming that, but we are going to get content and hopefully have a full game for you. As for the second game that we will be, there we go, going to, let me just jump, here. And that game will be Saturday, December 17th at 4:30 p.m. in Arnprior, where the Arnprior Rivermen will then host the Smith Falls Ritos for the second half of the home and home. That game for sure will be streamed live for you guys as we have a great setup in Arnprior. But again, we'll see what happens with the Smith Falls game, and we look forward to bringing the content to you this weekend. Now, if you're enjoying our content, we hope that you like, share, subscribe, and follow our content. But right now we are struggling with sponsors. So what we're looking at is we do have a GoFundMe up. I do have the website up here right now on the screen, and you can go there. You can donate whatever you would like. We don't want to be charging viewers, so it's a support sponsorship kind of thing from you guys to support us in the GoFundMe. But we don't want to charge anybody, so it's totally up to you to what you give. You don't have to give, but the more that we have available means the more games we'll be able to make it to with the travel expenses and time that's taken to do these things. So we hope you're enjoying the show, the content. We will be looking forward to bringing you the games this week and then or weekend, and then next week bringing you a Between Two Posts podcast. Justin may be back then. He did have some stuff to do this week. His Movember game in Montreal. That was he went out with the ones that won to do that game, and then he's been working, seeing some family stuff like that. So he just wasn't available this week, but we're pretty sure he'll be back for the following week. Not injured from any hockey related incidents where he gets lit up or anything like that. Just kidding there, Justin. So we'll see you guys next week, and remember, keep on streaming.